The Yankees are going to write a blank check to this guy. He's probably going to get anywhere from $300 to $325 million. I mean, I'm not going to say I told you so, but I told you so. What's going on, guys? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another Major League Baseball recap video. We have so much to talk about today. This is the off-season version of my recap videos. If this is your first time on the channel, we post baseball every single day, so make sure you guys subscribe and slap a like on this video so you know you want more of it. But we have trade rumors, we have signings, we have so many things that went down, and the biggest thing, of course, is a record deal for a starting pitcher. 9 years, $324 million. I called it in the intro a few days ago, so I do feel pretty good about myself. So also, one more thing is that the Dodgers are now going for Madison Bumgarner. Everyone said, Fuzzy, that is never going to happen, but I called that as well. So we'll see if that happens. I want you guys to buckle in. It is going to be a crazy ride. One of the most fun days I've ever remembered in baseball. Before we get into the Gerrit Cole signing as well as the Carlos Correa trade, we'll talk about that. And also, Kris Bryant is apparently being shopped to 3 different teams. We're going to cover everything, but the first thing that I want to do is talk about the San Francisco Giants because they just signed Kevin Gausman. In the past, he's been known to be a pretty decent, if not really good pitcher. The last couple of seasons, it's not been that case, but he signed a 1-year deal worth $9 million. They pretty much overpaid for this guy. And then the Angels, they traded Zach Cozart to the Giants, so the Angels freed up $12 million. I'm not sure what the Giants are doing considering they signed Gausman and then they traded for Zach Cozart. Those are some odd moves in my opinion, but the Angels trading away Zach Cozart is almost as big of a story in my opinion as Gerrit Cole going to the Yankees, because if we're going to be honest with ourselves, I think that the Angels are winners after missing out on Gerrit Cole. We're going to talk about that after we bring up, the whole contract and how the Yankees look going forward. But I promise you guys, if you're an Angels fan, you just got bailed out. And then one more big signing did go down yesterday. I did not make a video on it. I knew that as soon as I left to go to the supermarket or go to eat food, that news would start coming out. And of course, Didi, he signed with the Phillies as soon as I went to the grocery store, so that really sucked. And then later on in the day, I told myself, I am going to leave my house after being up almost 24 hours waiting for Gerrit Cole to sign as soon as I leave to go eat dinner because I got groceries, then I was too lazy to cook them. I'm sure you guys have been there before. You just do not want to cook and clean pans. I left my house. As soon as my ramen hit the table, I got a notification on my phone from Ken Rosenthal. 9 years, $324 million. Gerrit Cole, of course, went to the Yankees. As soon as I got my delicious food, I was so upset. So that's why this video is coming out really late. I was not going to put out a 1 a.m. video and have you guys stay up with me. That's not fair, but hopefully you guys are enjoying it just as much now as you would have last night. Now, let's talk about it right now. 9 years, $324 million. You guys have heard all of the other signings, whether it's, Didi to the Phillies. I don't know if that makes them a playoff team because the Braves have had a few players signed as well. There's so many things going on, but the Gerrit Cole to the Yankees saga is officially over. This is like Thanos getting the final Infinity Stone. Don't I have one? I am super happy that my brother is a nerd because now I can actually illustrate. So in my hands, I have Thanos' Infinity Gauntlet, and apparently there's more than just 5. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? So this big one right here, this completes the glove. This is Gerrit Cole. The Yankees, they were 1 Infinity Stone away from being a World Series contender. And I truly, honestly believe, now this might be hyperbole, I might just be a prisoner of the moment. I do think that the 2020 Major League Baseball favorites for the World Series next year, it has to be the Yankees. Because again, their 1 through 4 starters is going to be Gerrit Cole, a healthy Luis Severino. You have James Paxton, who can be an ace. He's proved that with the Seattle Mariners. And then Masahiro Tanaka, who has been huge in the playoffs, as your number 4 starter. And then let's say that in a weird universe that Domingo Germán is able to overcome his personal struggles and make it past the whole domestic abuse thing, he might be your 5th starter. So when you have Cole, Severino, Paxton, Tanaka, and Germán as your 1 through 5, that competes up against anyone in the entire league. So we have Aaron Judge right here. We have Aaron Boone, who in my opinion is a pretty good coach. You have Cole. You have Severino. You have the bullpen. And I mean, this is Cole. Maybe this is, I don't even know, guys. They have so many pieces right now. But if I had to compare the Yankees to anything, they are now the Thanos of Major League Baseball. They have all of their Infinity Stones in place. So what does that mean? Yep. they're about to snap. So I want you guys to let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think is going to happen over the course of 2020 until 2029, because this deal is a big boy. Now, the one thing I do want to mention as well is he can opt out after the 5th year in New York. I don't think that he is going to do that, because then he'd be leaving over $140 million on the table. Again, Gerrit Cole is getting all the money in the entire world. He's not going to do what Jacob deGrom did, because that deGrom deal, wow, that sucks. Jacob deGrom, if you guys do not remember, he signed, I think, a 5-year deal or something like that. I'm going to throw up the graphic right now because I did tweet this out. I just cannot believe. In my opinion, I feel like Jacob deGrom is a better pitcher than Gerrit Cole. deGrom is a back-to-back Cy Young Award winner. He obviously does not strike out as many hitters as Gerrit Cole, because Gerrit Cole set a major league record last year with a 13.8 strikeouts per 9 as a starting pitcher, which, now that I say that out loud, that is incredible. But Jacob deGrom, he really cut himself short. I really honestly feel like he is going to get robbed of millions and millions and millions. I wish that he would have waited one more year, because he would have been a free agent, I believe, after this offseason or the 2020 offseason. Either way, deGrom, he just lost out on probably like $150 to $200 million easy. So I'm going to go ahead and put my infinity gauntlet away, because I truly feel like we are done talking about the Yankees again. It's kind of, oh man, yeah, the Yankees, they are looking very, very scary. They might lose Dellin Betances, and they've already lost Didi Gregorius. So again, the Phillies, they might be better because they're building pieces. They signed Zach Wheeler. They just signed Didi Gregorius. Now, who knows if they're going to make a trade for Kris Bryant? Yes, that has been a huge rumor the last couple days, and also they've been reported in the Francisco Lindor sweepstakes as well. We're going to talk about that right now. Now, yes, at the beginning of the video, I also mentioned that Carlos Correa might be on the move. We're going to talk about that directly after this whole Kris Bryant shenanigans. Kris Bryant is being reported to the Nationals. I guess the kingpin in this whole situation is if any of these teams do not sign Josh Donaldson or Anthony Rendon. And it kind of just makes sense once I bring up the teams. We have the Nationals. Let's say that the Nationals lose out on Anthony Rendon because they gave a bunch of money to Steven Strasburg, and they can no longer compete with the Angels or the Rangers or any other squad that can sign Rendon. They might be able to trade for Kris Bryant. They have a ton of pieces in place. The second team is the Atlanta Braves. Let's say that they do not re-sign Josh Donaldson. That could very well happen, because they've placed a lot of money on a lot of different players. Their salary cap, I mean, there's not really a salary cap in Major League Baseball, and the Braves owner does have quite a lot of money, so it could definitely happen. But if they lose out on Rendon and Donaldson, Kris Bryant could be a move as well. Their depth is insane. They have so many prospects that they can trade. And then last but not least, I think that this would be the greatest trade that I can remember in quite some time. Kris Bryant to the Phillies. The reason why is because I'm from Las Vegas. Some of my favorite players in baseball are Kris Bryant and Bryce Harper, because they're both from Vegas. If they were on the same team, oh, that would be incredible. And also, they have a prospect, Bryson Stott. I used to play with him in high school. He was drafted in the first round just this last draft. If he can come up and play shortstop for the Phillies in the next 2 or 3 years and have Harper, Bryant, and Stott all on the same team, that's my favorite team. I might have to abandon ship, especially if the Indians trade away Francisco Lindor. I'd be done with them. Just kidding. I'll never be done with the Indians, but I'd be close to it. So I want you guys to let me know in the comment section down below, if Kris Bryant is going to get traded, where do you hope that he ends up? Because the Cubs, again, they kind of screwed him up in terms of his contract. There's a whole process going on right now where he might be a free agent this year or something. I don't know what's going on with Kris Bryant. I'll go ahead and post an article in the description down below if you guys want to read up on it. And another superstar that might get traded is Carlos Correa. I thought that this was a done deal. It was reported that Luis Castillo, the ace, or maybe he's like the co-ace with Sonny Gray and Trevor Bauer down in Cincinnati, it was reported that he was traded for Carlos Correa. 4 years of Luis Castillo for 2 years of Carlos Correa. So I'm not sure if that would make sense as a Reds fan, but then the Astros, they would be replacing Gerrit Cole, kind of. Luis Castillo is a poor man's Gerrit Cole. Let's be honest, he's pretty nasty. He almost started the All-Star game in 2019. And then you have the Reds getting a really good shortstop to add to that already pretty insane lineup with Aristides Aquino, Mike Moustakas, Eugenio Suarez. They have a really solid group of players in Cincinnati. They would have Sonny Gray. They have Trevor Bauer. Anthony Descalfani is pretty decent as well. I mean, it's kind of a win-win for both teams if I think about it. So that's why I believed in this trade so much. It is not official. Apparently, it's pending physicals. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I wanted to update you guys. Kris Bryant might be on the move. Carlos Correa looks to be on the move. Just nothing is official yet. Now, one trade that is official, there's no wiggle room. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about this. The Chicago White Sox and the Texas Rangers, they made a trade yesterday. Steele Walker, you guys have probably never heard of that name before. Steele Walker is a top prospect for the Chicago White Sox. This guy has some swag. He's a lefty white boy that pimps home runs, and he's going to cause some drama if he ever makes it to the league. They traded him to the Texas Rangers in exchange for Nomar Mazara, and I know that Mazara was a pretty integral part of all the Rangers interactions. He was a big help to Joey Gallo. He was a big help to Willie Calhoun and also Delino DeShields. I think that he is going to be missed, and in my opinion, I think the White Sox got swindled. I know that Mazara had the furthest home run and the longest home run last year. I think it was like 500 and something feet. It was the official longest home run of the 2019 season. They traded him for a prospect. Usually I like to go with the whole thought process of if you get an actual big league player for a prospect, usually the team who gets the big league player always wins, because prospects, they can fail. They haven't made it to major league pitching yet. Who knows how good they're going to be. But this Steele Walker kid, whether it's college or his first season in A-ball, he flat out rakes. And that pretty much does it for all the big stories for the last 24 to 48 hours. Now, I do want to recap what happened, and also there's a few more stories that I want to throw out real quick because they are percolating right now. Is percolating a word? Circulating? Whatever. I'm not a dictionary. So the first one, obviously, I brought this up a few days ago in the same video that I did Gerrit Cole confirmed to the Yankees. I know Fuzzy called it first, but I said that Madison Bumgarner would probably end up an LA Dodger, and then Ken Rosenthal's tweeting today that the Dodgers have switched all of their focus to signing Madison Bumgarner. So Fuzzy is 2 for 2 in regards to that. And then last but not least, we have talks about Marcel Ozuna going to the Braves, the Reds, or the Cardinals. Now, again, if Marcel Ozuna goes to the Reds, then they probably won't have to trade for Carlos Correa, because I feel like they'd be pretty solid. And don't the Reds already have Freddie Galvis? I feel like they're good over there as well. Or maybe, yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah, the Reds have Freddie Galvis. He rakes, he's fine. David Price is being reported to the Angels, so all of you Angels fans might be getting a pretty decent pitcher. Price was great in 2019. He wasn't as good as he's ever been in his career, but he was pretty decent for the Red Sox. And then we have Caleb Smith. He is the ace for the Marlins. Now, I say ace with a grain of salt because he had a 4-point-something ERA. He throws hard. He's not very accurate, but he can strike a lot of hitters out. And then the final trade rumor, it's very minuscule, but the Indians, my team, they have been linked to Chad Pinder of the Oakland A's. He is a utility guy. I think 2 years ago, he played every single position except for pitcher and catcher. So I love the fact that he's versatile. I would be ecstatic with that trade because Jason Kipnis, he is leaving in free agency, so we could fill that hole at second base, third base, outfield, wherever we need him. And that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comment section down below, what was the biggest thing that you guys heard from this? Was it the Gerrit Cole signing with the Yankees? Was it the fact that the Angels now have $12 million extra after trading away Zach Cozart, so they can go for someone like Anthony Rendon? That could very well be a possibility. I think that the best situation for the Angels would be you sign Hyun-Jin Ryu and Anthony Rendon with the money that you would have given to Gerrit Cole, and in my opinion, you just saved yourselves from giving over $700 million to 2 players between Trout and Gerrit Cole. There's the Nomar Mazara trade. There's possibly Kris Bryant getting traded. Carlos Correa is on the trading block as well. So much is happening, and I am here for it. Thank you guys for watching. Again, we post baseball content every single day. Use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save $20 off any sporting tickets and concerts, especially during the holidays. Save yourself some money. Catch you in the next one. Maybe we can predict some more things. Peace out.